Hi guys, Unscales here, and today I'm bringing you just some gameplay from last week's trials. I hope you enjoy. Today I'm bringing you a video on what very well could have changed about the Crucible since the last update, and this has been something that has not been mentioned or talked about by Bungie, which might seem unusual at first. However, if you're aware of the recent controversy about what was communicated initially to be a buff in regards to assault rifles with the new update, and then what actually ended up being implemented, you will be, if you're aware of that, you will be aware that Bungie's communication skills as of recent with the community haven't been, well, they haven't, the skills themselves haven't been fantastic. So it's no surprise that Bungie may not mention this kind of stuff, which is disappointing, but it is what it is. And that is to say, rather, this being said, I would still take what I'm saying in this video with a pinch of salt, because obviously we have no official confirmation. However, I am going to link a link in the description that links to a Crucible Playbook Reddit post. And along with personal experience of my own, this guy further suggests that what has happened since the update is that in Destiny's regular Crucible playlists, what has happened is that instead of matchmaking being so strictly focused on finding good connection quality with other players, what's happening is that there's been almost a 180 shift, it would seem like, in that the matchmaking is now very strongly based on skill-based matchmaking, which is to say that when you're trying to find a match, the game will try and match you with players based on skill level. So essentially, you're going to be playing against people who have a very similar skill level to you, and if you were above average in Crucible before the update, you're going to be finding that your stats are going down a bit, because you're encountering less players that are worse than you and a lot more players that are on your level, so you're finding things a lot more tough. Some people are for this change, some people are against it. I just want to do an opinion video on why I really don't think skill-based matchmaking is a good thing for regular Crucible. And yeah, that's pretty much what this video is. So it's just a little opinion piece, maybe to add to your own research of whether or not skill-based matchmaking is a good thing for Crucible. Because I'm certainly not dictating anything to anyone. I'm just saying why I really don't think it's a good idea, in my opinion. With that being said, my first point would be that if you're sitting down in the evening after a long day at work or school or whatever, and you go to play Destiny, typically you go to the tower and you go back to the orbit screen after picking up your bounties, and then you've got two daily activities to look at. So you've got the daily story and the daily Crucible. Daily story has historically been pretty laid back, pretty straightforward. You don't need to think much while you're playing it. It's very low maintenance. And the nature of a daily activity would suggest that it's not meant to be too strenuous, and you don't need to prepare too much for it because of the frequency at which the activity is presented to you. I mean, it's daily, it's meant to be pretty easy. You're not meant to have to worry about it too much. Skill-based matchmaking in this sense kind of throws that off, because if you're playing against players of your own skill, especially if you're a higher level advanced player, that just makes things very strenuous and quite stressful, really, if you're trying to get a win, which a lot of high level players in Destiny do want to do. They want to get wins. That's what they play for, really, at the end of the day, and it makes it really high maintenance and quite a stressful playing environment, really, for a daily activity, if skill based is a factor there. Additionally, what you do need to consider is that for lower level players, if they're just playing with people of their own skill, they have less to look up to as well. So they have less to aim for. There's not as much inspiration in terms of upping their own skill level. That would be an argument of mine. Another pointer would be that a fundamental thing of FPS, and this might just be because of the time I come from, where you played an FPS back in the day to get better overall, and this was reflected in your stats. But if you're continually improving, but you're getting matched against better and better players along the way, then what ends up happening is that your stats never really change. Your KD will sit around the 1.0 area, your win-loss will likely sit around the neutral area, wherever that is. essentially you'll get about as many wins as you get losses, and it's just, you know, if you're getting put against even people, your chances of winning or losing or getting a kill or dying are roughly 50-50. And so in terms of improving, you might improve, but there's no real tangible change in your stats or whatever, which reduces a lot of the motivation factor there. So, you know, there's not as much to play for, at least in my opinion. Another factor would be that if you're doing skill-based matchmaking, then you're kind of compromising connection. That's what's been happening. A lot of people are complaining recently, certainly myself, have been experiencing pretty bad connection issues since this change. And if you're sacrificing connection quality for skill-based matchmaking, it's kind of self-defeating, because, I mean, if you think about it, you might put people on similar skill levels, but what does skill matter if some people are experiencing severe lag? So those are just my pointers as to why skill-based matchmaking is a bad thing for public PvP in Destiny. Thanks for watching, and yeah, consider it. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.